Hey guys, this is Frozen Things. Steve's here, and welcome back to another movie review. And this isn't just one movie review, because in this video, I am going to be doing two movie reviews. Yeah, a double movie review on the two remaining MonsterVerse movies that I have yet to review, leading up to Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. So yeah, the movies that I'm going to be reviewing are Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay, so I just want to give a heads up on what was going on because as you'll notice, I have not made a video in 3 days, and not many people. I bet not many people saw my community post because it seemed to have a very few attention. So if you didn't see my community post, well, I was on a vacation. I was on a trip to the province. Like last Thursday. I left last Thursday, which was the day after I recorded my previous review, which is my Kong Skull Island review. And I was actually going to review Godzilla King of the Monsters on that same day, but I had no time because I rewatched the movie a bit late, so I didn't. And I wrote my review, and I was like, I got kind of tired, and so I didn't want to do it anymore. And so yeah, I went to the vacation rental house or resort or whatever that is, and yeah, watched a bunch of movies there. One of the movies I watched in that resort is a rewatch of Godzilla vs. Kong since it was on Netflix and the others weren't. And since when I was rewatching Godzilla vs. Kong, well, technically my dad was the one who played the Godzilla vs. Kong on Netflix. I was like, ooh, this is a great idea. I can actually rewatch this movie, so I can speed things up with my MonsterVerse review. So yeah, so that's just a quick story of what was happening to me. And so I'm here, yeah. I decided to do a double review, mainly so I could catch up with my MonsterVerse reviews, because I am actually seeing Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah, afternoon. So you'll be seeing my review either tomorrow or Monday, it depends. So yeah, guys, let's get right into it. Starting off with Godzilla King of the Monsters. So Godzilla King of the Monsters is the third film in the MonsterVerse and the second solo Godzilla film in the MonsterVerse. It came out in the year 2019, aka my favorite year ever, and is directed by Michael Dougherty, and it stars Millie Bobby Brown, Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Ken Watanabe as Jiang Xing, Bradley Whitford, Sally Hawkins, Charles Dance, Thomas Middleditch, Anthony Ramos, etc. And so, Godzilla King of the Monsters tells the story of the cryptozoological agency named Monarch, who are pretty much trying to help contribute in saving the monsters, and yeah, they have them in their facility. But then this villain named Alan Joan, played by Charles Dance, wants to release the monsters. Wants to release the monsters. Yeah, he wants to oppose a threat using those monsters, and also to get Godzilla involved in it. So yeah, now the monsters that they released are the three-headed Ghidorah. Well, specifically Ghidorah. And there's also other monsters, Mothra and Rodan. So yeah, so all of them come face to face against each other. But then it turns out that while Alan Joa threatened the monsters, was a threat to the monarch, it was actually Emma Russell, who the mother of Madison and wife of Marka. Well, Emma, played by Vera Farmiga, who released the monsters. And she actually wants to wipe the world because of the loss of her son Andrew during the Godzilla attacks. That's basically a plot for it. So yeah, okay. Well, I usually give a, I usually would you give a bit of things to say about the movie before giving out my thoughts, but I'm probably going to talk about this quickly. Get us out of the way very quickly first. Yeah. Now, this is one of my most anticipated movies of 2019. And it's not because I'm a huge Godzilla fan or anything, but it's because the marketing for this movie is incredible. Yeah, that comic, that the Godzilla King of the Monsters Comic Con teaser is considered to be one of the greatest trailers ever, and I can totally see why. I still love the trailer. Love the trailer, especially with that deal music and that sense of dread that trailer introduces to us and introduces to us. Yeah, that was certainly one of the biggest trailers ever put. And then we got this movie. Literally got three trailers. Second trailer not as good, but I still really like it. But the third trailer, the final trailer, is the best. It's my favorite of the three trailers. Yes, even over the Comic Con teaser, it just really shows that this movie is going to be epic. And I was hoping this movie would get good reviews, but unfortunately, it got panned by critics. In fact, this is actually the only MonsterVerse movie that got panned by critics. Yeah, Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla vs. Kong got pretty solid reviews, but this one got Godzilla X Kong got mixed reviews, but this is the one that got panned by critics, and I never understood the hate for it. I mean, come on, y'all. Well, I'll talk more about that later, but yeah. I love this film. Yeah, it was never a perfect movie. I could clearly see that this movie like having such stupidity, but I don't care. I mean, this movie delivered what I wanted it has more action, it has more stakes, it has pretty much just everything that it has more action. It had things that the first Godzilla movie lacked, and yeah. But what are my thoughts on the film now? Well, I gotta say, it's good, but honestly, I don't love it as much as I did before. Yeah, I think it's just good, but not great. Yeah. Sadly, guys, yeah, this got weaker in rewatch. Yeah, I can kind of see the things wrong with this film, kinda, but don't worry, guys. I still like it. I still defend this film. I still think this film is highly enjoyable and highly entertaining. But honestly, I gotta say, this is honestly the second weakest MonsterVerse movie, second only to Godzilla 2014. And yes, guys, yeah, you probably saw me, give Godzilla, Kong Skull Island a very positive review, but actually, but actually, yeah, Kong Skull Island is better than this film. There, I said, and yeah, it's come up to this point where like Kong is actually the true standout of the MonsterVerse. Yeah, sure. I like Godzilla as a character, and -1 did make me love Godzilla a lot more. I like the Godzilla in these movies, but let's be real here. Kong owns the MonsterVerse. Kong is like the real standout of the MonsterVerse because the the best MonsterVerse movie. I mean, Godzilla versus Kong. Well, I'll get to that when I talk about Godzilla versus Kong. But let's just talk about this as a Godzilla film without bringing up Kong. So yeah, but yeah, out of all the films in the MonsterVerse, this is honestly the dumbest one yet. Now, yes, the writing isn't that bad. It's nothing like this sucks. It's not like this sucks, but it's just very, very stupid. Yeah, yes, sure. The MonsterVerse is stupid. I mean, Godzilla vs. Kong is stupid. Godzilla X Kong surely is stupid, but this takes stupidity to a whole new level. It's basically the franchises, the MonsterVerse F9, where the stupidity is raised to a whole new level. Yet I still somehow enjoy the film. Yeah, F9. Yeah, F9, a movie where they go to space, but yet I still like the movie. Apparently, people hate the movie because of how stupid it was, but I still like. I was like, who cares? If I enjoy the film, I like it. Yeah, that's how I feel about this film. Is basically how I felt about F9. F9, and I gotta say, yes, even if this is one of the weakest films in the MonsterVerse, the weaker ones, it still is a significant improvement from the overrated 2014 version. Yeah, I can't believe Godzilla 2014 is still considered to be the best one. I will never understand. Like, seriously, even on Rotten Tomatoes, yes, despite Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla vs. Kong, both equally getting the same tied as the highest percentage of Rotten Tomatoes, Godzilla 2014 actually has a higher average rating than Godzilla vs. Kong, which makes Godzilla 2014 the highest rated one on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, that's just stupid, man. Um, yeah, but yeah, Godzilla is in this film much more this time around, though. Honestly, it's still not quite enough. But hey, at least we can let that slip by. I mean, yes, the 2014 version. Yes, I did heavily criticize that film for having a lack of Godzilla, but that's because that movie was boring, just barely any action. It's just all humans talking, blah blah blah, and that's such a boring ass protagonist with Aaron Taylor Johnson, who apparently he wasn't even that good of an actor at the time. Yeah, but like what I said, I do like him. I do like him now, but seriously, didn't care about any of the human characters. There's barely any action. The movie just kept him trolling us with Godzilla's here. Oh, screw it. But let's cut the scene. Yeah, let's cut any scene Godzilla shows up in. Yeah, but this one, we actually get more action. Yeah, sure we go. Godzilla first shows up in the first 45 minutes of the movie with one big action scene that has shaky cam, though I still enjoyed the action scene. And then Godzilla, like, Godzilla's barely found in the whole second act. But even without Godzilla in it, I think it's made up. I think the movie makes it up with actually letting the other Titans have more screen time. Yeah, with Rodan, Ghidorah, and Mothra. Yeah, all the other creatures actually get more screen time, and the movie actually somewhat becomes is somewhat enjoyable. Godzilla 2014 honestly should have been like this. I mean, if you don't want Godzilla to appear much in your films, at least give the other kaiju's more screen time and put more action in it. But no, they just want to make Godzilla 2014 artistic so that critics can like our movie, and then we just get dumber and yeah, and all that shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with Godzilla 2014. It's too artistic. It tries to be so artsy, and all that stuff. But yeah, at least the movie is the entire second act is basically the kaiju's, the evil kaiju's chasing the humans on their monarch ship. Yeah, that's basically it, and that is certainly enough for me to give this film a pass. But then at the third act of the film, Godzilla actually comes back. Yeah, we get this really, really impactful scene with Dr. Zara reviving Godzilla, like bringing him back and sacrificing himself. Yeah, that was an amazing scene. One of the best scenes in the film. One of my favorite scenes in the film. No, not my favorite, but one of the best scenes in the film. And then we get the Godzilla versus Ghidorah fight. Now, I said on Letterboxd that this is the best action scene in the MonsterVerse, but honestly, no, it's not. I take that back. But still, the Godzilla versus Ghidorah fight is awesome. There's actually one thing that I find extremely unfair. People criticize the final battle for being too dark because it takes place at night. But, I mean, that's the case. If you think if you have a problem with Godzilla that final battle being dark, because of being dark, how come you don't? That's not a problem with the Godzilla versus Muto fight. I mean, they're the only I barely saw anything with the Godzilla versus Muto fight, and the only thing I can see in there is Godzilla breathing fire at Muto. That's the only time I could actually see what the fuck was going on. At least with this one, I could actually see what was going on. Yeah, it's full of big explosions, all that stuff. But yeah, at least I could actually see what the fight. I could actually see these monsters clashing with each other. It didn't feel like it was so dark. So yeah, you see now why I consider Godzilla vs. Mewtwo to be the most overrated action scene in ever. in any action scene, in any movie, because people like think that's good and they have a problem with this one, and it's not even a good action scene anyway. That one, but this is way better. Way better, yeah. And the visuals, and by the way, yeah, this has one of the. I absolutely love the score of this franchise, especially when they add the Godzilla's theme into it with a dun 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 dun. Yeah, amazing. Also, yeah, the visuals here. I mean, you all know how good this is. Yeah, especially Mothra. Honestly, guys, I gotta say, Mothra is my favorite monster. Yeah, even over Kong. Yeah, I know I praise Kong a lot and Godzilla, but honestly, Mothra is my favorite. Yeah, I'd honestly be down for a Mothra movie. Yeah, yeah. For the next MonsterVerse movie after Godzilla X Kong, let's not have a Godzilla focused one anymore. Either let's make it another Kong solo film like Godzilla, like Kong Skull Island, or a Mothra film. Yeah, I'd be down for a MonsterVerse movie about Mothra. But okay, yeah, let's get into. But man, I do have a bunch of flaws that keeps it from going above rating. From going above, from me giving this a higher rating. That you'll see what I give this one later on. The main problem I have with the film is that the story tries way too hard to be so deep and powerful. Like, it tries way too hard to have a deep story because this is a story about second chances, about about grief, and also this movie gives a message that just because you have grief doesn't mean you can do something evil with it. Like that shouldn't give you an advantage. That shouldn't make you take advantage of others. Yeah, but I get that. But honestly, why do we need this? Like, there's also this whole human drama with like what I said, Emma Russell grieving over the loss of her son Andrew. In her baby son Andrew. Well, was he a baby? I kind of don't remember. But or either he was a baby or a little kid, or just a little kid, like a little past toddler. But whatever, that's not important. But yeah, seriously, and because of this whole forced drama in like this movie incorporating forced drama, the pacing of this movie tends to be slow at times. Yeah, good lord, the first 45 minutes of the movie is really slow. Yeah, I mean, there's no action scene until 40 minutes in the movie. It's all just people talking. There's politics in the movie. Like, seriously, why in the actual hell would you put politics in a MonsterVerse movie? No, like, there is this whole lawyer scene that Thomas Mill just did, giving an exposition, explanation as to all the titles and all that shit. Why do we need that? We don't need the politics and all that stuff. The setup. Yeah, what a slow setup. Yeah. Also, Godzilla first appearance is actually just one jump scare. Or I gotta say, yeah, and it was like just Godzilla just hitting the base, and I don't know what the fuck happened, honestly. Yeah, but oh boy, Emma Russell, oh dear lord, I mean, I will say as though Vera Farmiga did try her best that she was given with, but honestly, she is a horribly written villain. Like, good Jeebus. Her villain arc is basically, oh, I lost my son Andrew, so I'm gonna release my titans to the world. And then she gives her this whole exposition speech, and because, these titans are going to, I want to wipe out the world. I want to show them these humans that these monsters are capable of this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this for Andrew. I'm saving humanity by having the monsters wipe them out. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense, yeah. I remember when I was watching this movie with one of my classmates, me and him we're literally making fun of that arc. Yeah, we were like laughing and just poking fun at it. That was kind of fun, not gonna lie. But seriously though, that was such a stupid villain arc. Like, who the fuck thought of that villain arc? That is just downright embarrassing. And you know what's worse? The movie tried to depict Emma Russell as a hero. She's like, because the movie really never acknowledged that Emma Russell is a villain. Yeah, so she is confronted by her husband, Dr. Serizawa, and the crew. But I mean, the movie should actually acknowledge Emma Russell is a villain, but no, the movie actually could not even decide if if she should be a hero or a villain. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, but yeah, and at the end, she redeems herself and she sacrifices herself, and yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah. Oh yeah, the other characters, the cast are okay. I guess they're not bad, but they're actually not bad. I guess. But but there's the one character who I actually really like, and I would probably consider one of my absolute favorite, like MonsterVerse characters. Not just one of my favorites, but actually she might be my favorite MonsterVerse character in general. Millie Bobby Brown as Madison Russell. Yeah, maybe I am biased because Millie Bobby Brown is 11 from Stranger Things, and 11 is my second favorite Stranger Things character, second only behind Max. But seriously, I actually really like Millie Bobby Brown's character. Yeah, Madison Russell. She's actually a very compelling character, and even with all the forced human drama, I actually kind of felt her character. And Millie Bobby Brown does give a great performance. So yeah. So overall, yeah, Godzilla King of the Monsters is maybe one of the most flawed the MonsterVerse movies, but it still maintains the fun monster fights that we know in the MonsterVerse. Yeah, just it's just all the forced drama and the politics that are getting in the way. Oh yeah, and also the movie is way too long. Like the other MonsterVerse movies are either straight up 2 hours or under 2 hours, but this was like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something. Yeah, they could have cut down the runtime to like 2 hours sharp or less, like just like the other MonsterVerse movies. Like, yeah, this didn't really need to be the longest MonsterVerse movie. So with that said, I'm going to give Godzilla King of the Monsters a 3.5 stars out of 5. So now we get into Godzilla vs. Kong. So Godzilla vs. Kong came out in the year 2021 and is the fourth film in the MonsterVerse. And it's directed by Adam Wingard, and it stars the same cast from the previous film, specifically Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler. And new cast members include Alexander Skarsgård, Rebecca Hall, Kaylee Hotley, Brian Tree Henry, Julian Dennison, Damian Beer, Asa Gonzalez, Lance Reddick, etc. And so the film in Godzilla vs. Kong tells the story of Godzilla, who is pretty much battling Godzilla, who is pretty much attacking the cities, but with no other threat besides him. So now people believe that Godzilla is actually evil. Yeah, after this one city attack, people now think that Godzilla has actually turned into the villain. But Madison Russell doesn't believe that that Godzilla is actually evil. That he's actually doing this because that Godzilla didn't really betray the humans, his people that he's been protecting. They suspect that Madison Russell forms a team to investigate this threat that might have provoked Godzilla. And it turns out it's actually the Apex company who is building Mechagodzilla to take down Godzilla. And on the other side, you got a team of scientists with Alexander Skarsgård and Rebecca Hall and Kaylee Hotley's character, who are pretty much protecting Kong. They know about the Godzilla incident, and they're pretty much using Kong to protect them while they're trying to send him back to Hollow Earth after putting him in a facility as seen in the beginning of the movie. And so with both two sides, human sides, one with a Godzilla plotline and the other with a Kong plotline, this leads for a clash between Kong and Godzilla, as Kong must face off against Godzilla. So yeah, Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah. this is a big event film. This is a film I was hyping up. Heck, honestly, this was actually my most anticipated movie of March 2021. Well, actually, it went back and forth between this, Raya, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. I was like, they both went back and forth, but I kind of geared more towards this one because, let's be real here, this is an event film, and any event film I'd instantly get hyped for. So yeah, considering that this is a sequel to Godzilla, King of the Monsters, a critically bad movie, I was actually worried that the critics would give this one a bad rating too. But good riddance, this actually got great reviews, good reviews. Yeah, this is actually tied with Godzilla 2014 as the highest rated Godzilla MonsterVerse movie on IMDb. Yeah, IMDb. Yeah, no, on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, sorry, I'm kind of losing my mind. Yeah, but so I might have to make this quick, but we'll see about much I have to say. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, enough of the intro. Now let's get into my thoughts on Godzilla versus Kong. And yeah, now there's at one point where I considered Godzilla, King of the Monsters to be my personal favorite MonsterVerse movie just this one time. But actually, for like for 80% of the time, this was my favorite MonsterVerse movie. And on rewatch, I am happy to say that Godzilla vs. Kong is still my favorite MonsterVerse movie. Yeah, what an awesome movie this was. Yeah, I really enjoyed the heck out of Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, this is still the peak of the MonsterVerse. Yeah, there's not really a lot to say about this film, like deeply, but I'm gonna try my best to give as much reasons as possible. Well, one obvious factor I gotta bring up here is the action, because holy shit. I mean, while the other MonsterVerse movies have like a blend of action and then dialogue, this movie goes right off the back. It is 80% action scenes, 20% human dialogue, and man, the action scenes in this movie are fucking awesome. Yeah, they really left me on the edge of my seat. On the edge of my seat. Yeah. This was just this is definitely a turn your brain on movie, because let's be real here, it's not the most well made MonsterVerse movie, because Kong Skull Island is still the most well made one. Kong Skull Island is the best one objectively, but I really enjoy this one more. Really enjoy this one more. When it comes to this film, the best thing to look for in this film is Godzilla versus Kong fight, like Godzilla and Kong duking out to each other, like as if you're playing some toys. And man, does this movie deliver on that? And this isn't like Batman vs Superman, where they'd waste the fight and make it like for only 5 minutes. Even though I thought the Batman vs Superman fight, the title fight, was decent, I'm not saying it's bad, but even though I still don't think Batman vs Superman is a bad movie, but I think this movie is what Batman vs Superman should have been. Yeah, there were like 3 Godzilla, I think 2. Oh yeah, there were 2 major Godzilla and Kong fights. So the first one being the ship scene, and the second one being being in Hong Kong, aka my second country. Yeah, love how this film takes place in Hong Kong. And even there's actually a lot of action here. Even how do I say this? Even without both of them duking it out, there's still plenty of action to be found. Like the action scene with Godzilla attacking the city. This one small action scene on Hollow Earth. And my god, yeah, the final battle, the third act, the climax final battle, literally lasted for 45 minutes. Yeah, how awesome is that? Yeah. While this movie doesn't have the most impressive visuals of the MonsterVerse, it still does have very impressive visuals for the most part. Yeah, the visual effects in this one I really like here. The cinematography is great too. I mean, the shots of Hollow Earth And yes, guys, the production design of Hollow Earth, it looks really good. I mean, Hollow Earth looks actually, it looks believable that actually does look believable that it's an actual place they filmed in. It didn't look like a green screen stuff. Yeah, even though there's some unrealistic sci-fi elements to it that you can be like, oh, that's obvious, that's CGI. No, I think that it looked real, especially in the beginning of the movie. I mean, no joke, guys. When I saw this movie for the first time, in the beginning film, when Kong was on the island, I literally thought it was an island, a real island. But when Kong threw that stick on the sky and it landed on the dome on the roof of the dome, yeah, I was surprised that was actually a dome this whole time. It was actually fake. Yeah, that was actually brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, the cinematography is great, especially with the Kong shots. I mean, let's talk about this scene. One of the best scenes in the film. And besides the Godzilla versus Kong fight scenes, this actually might be my personal favorite action scene in the film. No, my favorite scene in the film. The scene with Gia and Kong, touching tips, like Gia and looking at Kong in the rain. My God, that cinematography is gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that scene with Gia and Kong having to connect with each other is just beautiful. And Adam Wingard's direction in this one actually does really work because let's be real here. With this and the upcoming Godzilla X Kong, based on what I hear and based on the trailers, hear from the good reviews which I trust for Godzilla X Kong, by the way, you can clearly tell that Adam Wingard really has a distinctive style to it more than any other directors. Yes, even Gareth Edwards. Yeah, you can clearly tell that he has his own style for the MonsterVerse that no other directors had. And you can also see his love for Kong because with this and Godzilla versus with this and Godzilla X Kong, I hear people say that Kong took over most of the screen time in Godzilla X Kong. Yeah, I think Adam Wingard deserves to direct direct a Kong solo movie, and I think he should take this MonsterVerse franchise forward because yeah, I absolutely love his direction. The movie's also one thing that makes the movie work is that it is very self-aware as well. Yes, the movie is stupid. It is one of the dumber installments in the MonsterVerse, but it actually knows it's stupid and it acknowledges it. Yeah, the story, it's decent. It may be stupid, but it is decent. The dialogue is stupid. The idea of having Mecha Godzilla in this is stupid. But the movie's like, nah, we don't care about stupid. Stupidity is our motto, but we're still gonna make sure people like our movie. So yeah, and man, this movie has such a rewatchability factor. Despite this being newer than the other MonsterVerse films, this is actually the one I rewatch the most. I rewatch the most. Yeah. Yeah. This and also yeah. One thing I will say is that one thing I will compliment about the story is that there is actually some great messages about man versus nature and that that you shouldn't attack nature. That yeah, and when you attack nature, nature attacks back, which is actually why Godzilla became villainous and attacked people because the Apex company attacked Godzilla. So that's actually a very nice message, I gotta say. And yeah, and this movie has a perfect balance between humans and monsters. Neither of them took more screen time than the other, took over more screen time. I actually think that this might have the best set of human characters in a MonsterVerse movie. Yeah, I actually liked most of the human characters, except for one, which I'll get to later. Yeah, I mean Alexander Skarsgård's character Nathan Lin, I like him. I really like Eileen Andrews, so one of the better characters in the movie. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have Maya Simmons is actually a guilty pleasure character. I actually honestly have a crush on her, not gonna lie, but let's be real here. I mean, Asa Gonzalez is fucking hot. What else can you expect from her? And she's actually the best MonsterVerse villain. Not a great villain, but she's honestly easily the best. Maya Simmons is honestly the best MonsterVerse human villain. Yeah, I like Bernie too. He's fun. I guess Josh. I guess not much. I mean, yeah, sure. They're not the most compelling human characters. They're not trying to be deep with all the character development, but yeah, but we'll see. And I absolutely love Gia. I think Gia is one of the absolute best MonsterVerse human characters. She actually has such a very compelling character development. It's not a powerful character development, but I think she's actually the most likable character in the human in the MonsterVerse. I love how she gets to connect with Kong, and we see her communicate with Kong, and even Kong can make sign languages. Gia made Kong talk with sign languages, and yeah, man, I absolutely love that. Although Madison Russell is still my favorite MonsterVerse character, yeah, Madison Russell, yeah, she's maybe for now she's still my favorite MonsterVerse character, but we'll see if Gia can take that spot. Yeah, I'm actually planning to do a top 5 favorite MonsterVerse human characters, since there are more great MonsterVerse human characters than you think. And Kong's actually has such a compelling character development because we get to learn more about Kong, his home, and some of his cultures. Of course, we'll get to learn more about him in Godzilla X Kong, but I really like what they did with Kong in this one. And also, by the way, the score is the best score in the franchise as well. Like, especially with the fight scenes, like dun 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 dun. But then you also get these more subtle and quiet moments with dun 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 dun. Dun. Whatever it's a scene with G and Kong bonding, man, that's beautiful. Yeah, that score. And the movie has such a perfect pacing. It's a 1 hour and 53 minute movie, but the runtime, the pacing actually works. It doesn't go. It is a fast-paced film, but it never felt slow once in a while, like ever. There is never a scene where I was bored. Not even in the dialogue scenes. So yeah. Now, as for my flaws, the villains, the human villains. Good God, yeah. Walter Simmons fucking sucks. He is the worst MonsterVerse villain ever. Fuck what Walter Simmons. Like, I hate him so much. He's just an awful villain. Like, when he was killed by Mechagodzilla, I was like, fuck yes. I was like, literally, like, he actually deserved that, because my God, he is so, his dialogue is so auto-tuned, like, and his acting is so cringe, and his motivation is fucking stupid. I don't even remember exactly what his motivations are. And even though I said that Maya Simmons is the best MonsterVerse villain, I do wish that she had more screen time as the villain, because she was actually depicted as a twist villain in the movie. And yeah, I kind of, a part of me knew that she was going to be a twist villain. Well, kind of. I was like thinking, oh, maybe she could be a twist villain. I do think that she could have had more screen time as the villain, as a villain. Like, yeah, they could have done the reveal earlier. But even with those flaws, so overall, even with those flaws, Godzilla vs. Kong is still an awesome movie and the best film in the MonsterVerse. So with that said, I'm going to give Godzilla vs. Kong a 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you don't like this section of my double review, if you didn't like the way I reviewed the Godzilla vs. Kong, I apologize for it. So yeah, that's all for my double reviews. What are your thoughts on these films, and which film do you like better, Godzilla King of the Monsters or Godzilla vs. Kong? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. And also, I am considering reviewing the Monarch Legacy of Monsters show, but I'll think about it. So yeah, bye guys.